in the temple as well as the people online, again to our path forward to learn from Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. Learning the Shrimad Bhagavad Gita with more scientific way to see more applicability in today's society is our aim, that is our objective. And that is how we are trying to interpret how the applicability is there in our daily life and how we can get a happy life from what has been taught by the God in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we will go forward on 55th sloka of second chapter. I will chant the sloka again. We finished half of it last week, and the remaining one we will be trying to look into this week. So I will chant the sloka first. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Partha Manogatan Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha Sthita Pragnastadochyate. Prajahati Yada Kaman. Last time we see Prajahati, who discards the desires, and we looked at what is a desire, what is the difference between a desire and a wish, whether we should discard the wish also, what is the difference, how can we live without any wishes, or can we live without desires, what is to be desired, and what are the things in life which we have to think about to desire or aspire for, and whether we should also leave our wishes. And then we thought about the Maslow's triangle of needs, and out of those needs, which are the things which we desire, which are the things we we should not desire and we should wish for. And that is what the Prajahati Yada Kaman we thought about. And Sarvan Partha Manogatan, out of the mind. So it should go, it should we should discard the desire from the mind. That is what it was. And then we talked about a very very important item is that हमें कामनाओं का त्याग करना है, इच्छाओं का नहीं. We have to discard the desires but not the wish. And then the second point which we understood is that the discard, the tyag, is from the mind, and the intellect teaches the mind how to do the discarding of desires. That is where we stopped. And then the Atmanye Vatmana Tushtaha, that is what we were starting. So Atmanye Vatmana Tushtaha, Tushtaha, contented, satisfied. There is no equivalent perfect meaning of tushta in English. So we can use the word contented for that, or we can use the word satisfied for that. But what does, but in that word of tushta is basically what qualities are there for the tushtaha. Tushtaha, Atmane Vatmana Tushtaha. The person who is satisfied or contented within, with oneself, is Sthita Pragnasya Dochyate, is the person who is having the steadfast intellect. That is the meaning of it. So we will try to understand two items here. One is Tushtaha, and the another one is Atmane Vatmana. So let us think about the Tushtaha. Sometimes we have to understand, we use a word, but we may not understand. So Tushtaha means what? Satisfied means what? In our regular life, we have got an experience that when we eat something, when we go to a good restaurant, we eat some nice food, and we fill our tummy very well. And then we say that, oh, I am santushta, I am satisfied. But that satisfaction is for a specific time. That satisfaction doesn't go for a long period. After 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, we are again hungry. And we again want some food. So that cannot be told as a tushtaha. It can be told as a santushta. Santushta means for a temporary period that has been satisfied. Similarly, when we are doing the earning, for example, the money, the house, the bungalow, the car, when a person is santushta, is at a level, and then when that level is achieved, the person rises the goal or target to another level. Say for example, when we come to Canada, somebody comes, a new immigrant to Canada here, they think that, oh, if I have a nice job of say $40,000, then I will be very happy, I will be enjoying my life, and I will be santushta. I will be happy, satisfied. But the moment the person is doing some hard work over here and trying to, develop some career and all, what happens? The target goes up. Now the person says that, oh, now I have got an experience, so instead of a $40,000, I should have a $80,000 job. And with that $80,000 job, we also say that now I should have a bungalow, I should have an apartment. So that cycle goes on repeating. The target goes forward and more ahead and ahead. The target is never achieved. So the person is never santushta. So if we tell the person at any given time and we ask the person that, are you happy, are you santushta? The person will say, yeah, I am happy, maybe, but I am not santushta because I want more. Yes, I want more. Now, is that bad, first of all? That is not bad, because this drive, this push is the cause of our life. If the cause of our life is, if somebody says, I am santushta, I don't want to do anything, I do not want to work further, I don't want to earn further, I don't want to live a healthy life, I don't, then the world will stop. The world will stop. The world is running because of this asantushti. That is a fact. So when the God is telling Atmane Atmana Tushtaha, what is the meaning? Why the God is telling us to become Tushta? Because what we see that if everybody in the world will be Tushta, then the world will not work further. There is a little story. It is about that, a king. So there was a king. He was a very benevolent king. He was very nice king. So he was saying that in his kingdom there are people who are working hard, but there are poor people, there are rich people. There is always in the world, there are poor people and there are rich people. There are powerful people and there are weaker people. Nowhere in the world, at no given time, may it be even Satyug or Treta or Dwapar, still there will be always some bad men and some good people, some powerful people and some non-powerful people. So that happens. So in similar way, in this time also for the king, in his kingdom there were rich people and poor people. So he thought that this is not good. Everybody should be rich. Everybody should have a lot of money and everybody should be able to satisfy their needs. So he went and he do the tapa, penance. He do the tap. Brahma ji ko prasann karne ke liye tap kiya. So now when he did lot of tap, the God came, Bhagwan prasanna ho gaye. So the God came and told him, okay, I am giving you one boon, what you want? So he told that, see, I don't want anything, I am already a king, but in my kingdom, the people are poor, people don't have money, people are working hard, but sometimes they are not skilled enough, sometimes they are not intelligent enough. Yeah, there will be people in the society who are not given any gift like that. A gift of intellect, a gift of the hard work, a good body, a healthy life, a intellect to work and earn money. There will be simpler people, and most of the people are simple. Most of the people are not very highly intellect or highly, influential people. So he told that, oh, I have got those people, and so I want them to be happy. So you know what? Give 200 kilos of gold to everyone in my kingdom. Let their houses be golden, let their furniture be golden, everything gold, lot of gold. So now everybody, at that time, a lot of gold. Now we can say a lot of money, cash money. That will be fun. We will talk about that also. So what will happen is that you give the gold. So he told, okay, fine. The God gave the boon. Now he goes back to his kingdom because he was in the forest doing the penance. So he came back to his kingdom. And what is he seeing? He is seeing that everybody's houses are covered with gold, all the roof are golden, all the houses, walls and everything is gold. Everybody has got a lot of money. So he is very happy. Now the people in my kingdom will be very happy. They don't have to struggle, they don't have to slog. So but he is coming from the forest, so he is calling his servant and he is telling, can you get me a glass of water please? And the guy is telling, I am no more your servant, I have got a lot of money, I don't want to work for you anymore. I will not fetch the water for you. And same with the other people, all the mantris, all those, his advisors, they are telling, we are not going to work for you anymore because we have got a lot of money now. So the world stopped, the country stopped, the soldiers told. The soldiers told that we are not going to fight anymore, we are not going to fight and give our life. Why? Because we have got a lot of money now. I want to live my life happily. The world stopped. The king understood that the push, the run of the world is done through the ichha, through the need. If there is no ichha, there is no incompleteness, then the world will not run, the world will not work. So he told the God to take the boon back, and everything came back, and the kingdom was working again in a regular way. So we see here in this example is that a asantushta is the driving force for running the society. But here the God is telling Atmane Vatmana Tushtaha. So why God is telling that? Is God not understanding that asantushti is the reason of the running of the society? People working. What the tushtamad meaning here is important. And yes, about that joking part, imagine that in Canada, if the God gives a boon and everybody has got a $10 million cash in their house, what will happen? The currency will go down, the value of the currency will become paper. So even economics wise also, it doesn't work. If everybody has got 2 tons of gold in their home, then the value of the gold will become less than iron. Because the economics works like that. Anything which is in full availability has got zero value. So that way also, it doesn't work. Economics doesn't support that kind of a thing. Economics support, there should be a demand. Then only the give and take will work. A farmer needs a clothes, so he is giving the grains to the person who is making the clothes. And the person who is making the clothes is not growing the grains, so they are exchanging that material, even in barter system. And that is why it is required. Asantushti is required. So the point here is, asantushti is required to run the world. And here, that is what is understood. But the God is telling, tushtaha, atmane vatmana tushtaha. Why God is telling that? What is the meaning of tushti? So, the tushti means contented. Here, there are 2 parts. One part is that having a dissatisfaction or a asantushti or void, emptiness, need, desires, these are the things which run the world. But on other hand, at a personal level, imagine that a person, as we talked, is asking for more and more, more and more, more and more. The person will always be unhappy. A person will always feel dissatisfied. A person will always feel incompleteness, void, emptiness. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I don't have this. We sometimes meet a big industrialist. We meet them. We meet some big rich people. You ask them. They will say, oh, you know what, yeah, I got a $10 billion business, but I wish that I want to have some more in some other country, I want to put more business over there and I want to earn more money. Even though he has got a lot of money. So, the person is dissatisfied. So, we have to decide in which area we should be santushta and we should be asantushta. That is what we need to decide. So, asantushti is running us and santushti is giving us happiness. Tushta is giving us happiness. So, tushta means whatever we have, whatever I am contented with that. That contention is not based on the objects which I have in possession, or the power which I have in possession, or the beauty which I have in possession. Santushti or tushti should not be dependent on the objects. That is why the God has used the word Atmanevatmana. Atmanevatmana. Within, we should be Atmanevatmana santushta, tushta. With our purified mind, what we are contented is within, with ourselves. Whatever I have, I am happy. Does it mean that I will not work? No. It does not mean that I will not work. I will work. Let us take example of some saints. So many saints are working. We have seen in various religions, not only in Sanatana Dharma, in various religions, there are hundreds of saints have come. They are santushta. We see that they are contented. They are not running for anything. But still they are working hard. They are working hard. They work for the society. So are they running for the society? Where they running for the society? Because they have got a asantushti. Are they not contented? But we say they are contented. They were not big money making people. But they were still working in their whatever business they are running. Whatever work they were doing. But they were working for the society. So work should not stop. The purpose, the seed of action should not be created from asantushti. The seed of say for example in case of those saints, the seed of work is coming from the compassion. Because that person has got such a great compassion for the society, that person, that saint is working hard for the society. He or she is not working because of the lack of contention. That is what God is telling here, santushta. We within ourselves should be tushtaha, contented with whatever we have from object point of view. But from the relationship, compassion, care, guidance, if I have got some knowledge, if I have got some money, I will suppose I have got a money and I am living in, a person is having a money, a person is living in a village, and there are drought, always there is a lack of water. The person will give money to make a well in the village so that people will have the water. It is not that that person is not having water for himself, but the person is having a compassion for the other people in the village to dig a well. In the same way, knowledge. And that is what the dana word has come from there. The word will come in detail when that sloka is going to come, the different type of dana. How the different type of dana is there. To give. Give what? How? When? To whom? So then they give dan. It is not that they are not contented, but it is because they have got a compassion. The saint has got a compassion for the society. And that is why they are working. So the work or the push should not be generated from the discontentedness, from the asantushti, but the push for those people is coming from the compassion. So there is a difference between our work and their work. That is why they are saints and we are normal people. We are mango people, as we say in India. Yeah, aam aadmi hai. Hum sab log aam aadmi. Yeah. Now somebody will ask a question that a contention means you are satisfied with something. So, will it really need the experience or possession of those objects? And we will take the same example of the food. When we eat the food, we have experienced the satisfaction and we say that I am santushta, I am trupta, I am satisfied, I am full. But it gives one point in mind, and what is that point in mind? That the experience of that object is necessary. Like unless I eat the food, I cannot say that I am satisfied. So, does it mean that in the world, everybody has to experience with everything to find that they are satisfied or not? And to possess that object, like, if I get the money, then I will be satisfied with the money. So in other words, I must have money. And same for the beauty, same for the power. So the question here is, should I possess that object or should I possess that power to experience it and then satisfied with it? The answer is no. It is not because the word tushta is connected with the inner self, it is not necessary to have it. So sometimes, where is it applicable when we see here in life? What happens when there are people meeting and they talk about each other, right? We always have we share our opinions. And if there is a person who has been, recently coming and he is not still settled in the country, say for example in Canada, they are not settled, they will say, he has earned lot of, and then they will talk about somebody who has made good money and living in a good house and all that. They will say, you know what, because that person has a good house, a person has good amount of money and the business, then it is satisfaction. If I also have a bungalow and a car and a good business like that, I will be satisfied. In other words, unless the experience of the object, unless the experience and the ownership of the object is happening, the person will not be contented. Will that sentence be right? No. Because the contention is coming from inner self. It is not coming from the object. So, in short, it is not necessary to have the experience of the objects to feel contented or dissatisfied. It is not necessary to have the experience of the objects. Here the tushta is atmanev atmana, and that is why the God used the word atmanev atmana. Contented within. A person is contented within. And we have got that, the examples already. We have talked about it, about the Aristotle and Alexander. When Alexander win over the major part of the world, he was a conqueror. He win the world. Here in Canada, we have got 1 or 2 houses. We are very much in great, ego that, I have earned this much money. He was a conqueror. How much ego he must have developed? How much power, the feeling of the power he must have got? So he was having his guru, Aristotle. Aristotle was his guru. So he thought that, let me go to my guru, let me go to Aristotle and give him something. I have already conquered the world. There is nothing in the world which cannot be given to him. So I want to give something to my guru. So he goes to guru, he goes to Aristotle. Now Aristotle was an old man. He, the white beard and, he's an old man. He doesn't possess anything. So we went to Aristotle, and then Aristotle was sitting on it was early morning. So Aristotle was sitting on a big smolder, a big stone. He was sitting on the stone and he was taking the sun bath. The sun rays were coming and he was taking sun bath. Just peacefully sitting, doing nothing. Peacefully he is enjoying himself. Atmane atmana tushtaha. He was enjoying, he was sitting comfortable. We also do that, right? When we go to camping, what do? We just sit comfortably outside our camp, we put a chair, and we are sitting there. We watch the nature and everything. We don't do any work. We do we look around and we just enjoy. We just enjoy. So he was sitting there And Alexander went over there and told, "Oh, great Aristotle, Alexander, the conqueror of the world, has come to you. You may wish, ask, whatever the thing you want in the world, I will give it to you. Because I am the conqueror of the world and I possess the whole world." That is what his word is. Yeah. Imagine. We have one or two houses here and there, and we have got a few millions in the bank balance, if it is there also. Then how much ego we develop? What will be the ego of so he's telling, ask me, whatever you want, I will give you. So Aristotle is telling him that, you know what, I am an old man, I am an old person. And being an old person, I feel a little cold in the morning. The mornings are a little colder. Older person feel little cold. So what I do is that I come in the morning and I sit on this stone, a big smolder, big stone. And the sunrays are coming, that heat up the stone. It's a black stone, so that heats up the stone. And that is giving me a little warmth. I feel comfortable. So I am sitting here. Now today what happened is that you are coming here and your shadow is falling on me. And because of that I am feeling cold. So if you want to give me something, what you give is that you just step a little aside so that I will be having a good warm sun bath again. That is what Aristotle do. Imagine, a conqueror of the world is telling, whatever you want I will give you, and Aristotle is telling that I need only just to step aside, two or three steps on the side so that I can get them. That is called as a tushta. Aristotle is not empty within. Aristotle doesn't have any feeling of incompleteness because of the lack of objects or possession. Atmane atmana tushtaha. That is what Aristotle was. And that is why he is a guru. That is why Aristotle is a guru. It is not that only in Sanatana Dharma we got great people. In all over the world there are people, there are great people. Because experience of a human is same. We are all children of God. So it is not necessary that only in India or only in Canada, anywhere in the world there are great people. They have experienced the same fullness, completeness, contented. They have experienced it and they have expressed it in different words, different languages, different religions. That is what is tushta. So atmane vatmana tushtaha, Alexander. We also have our experience in a similar example in our India. There was a Panduranga. There was a disciple of Panduranga. You know, in India there is a state named Maharashtra. And in Maharashtra, there was a saint whose name was Pandurang. And he was a great, he was serving his parents. He was a person who was taking care of his parents all the time. He was a great son. So he will help the parents, he will help them in the work, he will help mother, he will help father, he will, massage the legs and all that, because parents are old. They feel pain in the leg. Every old person has a leg pain. So one day he was, doing the massage of the legs of his father, and then because he was such a great saint, Lord Vittal. Vittal is nothing but the Swarupa of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. Bhagwan Vishnu ka Swarup hai, Vittal. Vittalnath is the Swarup of Bhagwan Vishnu. Is a Swarup. So Vittal and his wife Rukmini, in other words, Krishna and Rukmini, or Vishnu and Lakshmi, you can say anything for that matter. They came to meet him. And Vittal is telling him that, Pandurang, I have come to your house. I have come to your place. Imagine. This is even much bigger example than Aristotle. The God has come to your home. God. The creator of the universe. The operator of the universe. that has come to your doorstep. Not even conqueror of this world, universe. So he's telling, I have come to your home, I have come to your place. And when he's telling, and he is coming with Rukmini, I have come with my wife. Yeah, imagine, you do not take your wife everywhere. It is only when an important event is there is something very important, very personal, then only you take your wife with you. Otherwise you go alone, isn't it? So when God comes with his wife, imagine the highest level. I cannot imagine more bigger than that, a situation which is so pious, so great. I cannot think about it. The God with his wife is coming to my doorstep. That was the amount of devotion Pandurang was having. And he's telling, let us talk, like this. So what did Pandurang do? Pandurang was just sitting there and, he was massaging the legs of his father. So there was a brick. There was a brick lying on the ground next to it. So he picked up the brick and he threw it. Imagine the situation. He threw it to the God and told that please wait on this, stand on this. Because if there is a guest coming, you should offer a seat to the guest. When you get a guest at home, you offer them a seat. Please come and sit. So that is his the way. But because he is busy with his work, he is doing the massaging of the father's leg. He is telling the God that take this seat. And what seat he is giving? He is giving him a brick so that he can stand on it. So imagine a situation. What a situation will be. Imagine that. And the God is standing there. That is why if you go to Maharashtra and you go to for the darshan, then the Vittal and Rukmini, Bhagwan Vittal and Rukmini are standing on the brick. That is the murti. It was not the ego of Pandurang, but it was his commitment to the work. Commitment to the work. That is what is there. Katevari Hath, Vitevari Ubha, Pandharinath. You go to Pandharpur. Pandharpur is a place in Maharashtra. You will see that idol. It is having both the hands on the waist like this, and he is standing on a brick. There is no Sinhasan. There is no seat for the God there. God is standing over there on the brick. That is the Rupam. That is the Darshanam of Vittal. It shows the commitment required to work for the society. Even the God comes at your doorstep. You are busy with the work. Even God you tell that please wait, stand on this brick till I complete my massaging of my father's leg. In other words, till I come, I am focused on my work. I don't need anything. And that is Atmane Vatmana Tushtaha. Even God comes to your place, you don't seek anything. You don't desire anything. You don't ask for anything. I always joke that in India, and even I don't see that here much, but in India, if you are at home and some big celebrity comes at during the elections, celebrities come and go to do the propagate for the parties and all that. So celebrities come, some big hero, heroine comes, and what happens? People run to see them, just to see them. But if you tell the same guy that your mother is coming with a big load of vegetables because she has gone to buy the vegetables, will that person run and pick up the load from mother? That mother, leave it, I'm going to lift it now. They will not run for that. They will run for the celebrity, but they will not run for helping mother. So here, in the case of Pandurang and Vittal, it shows the commitment to the work. without any seeking anything, without any desire. Why? How that kind of a psychology, how that steadfast mind, steadfast intellect has developed is what is called as a Atmane Vatmana Tushtaha, and that is the person who is a Sthita Pragnasya Dochyate. That is the person whose intellect is called as a steadfast intellect, who doesn't desire, who doesn't seek, who doesn't want, but continuously keeping working. So the example of Pandurang and Bhagwan Vitthal is an excellent example of Atmane Vatmana Tushtaha. He is satisfied. Even God comes to my doorstep and asks, okay, what boon you need? You say, okay, hold on please. Let me finish massaging of my father's leg. That is the commitment. How many times in our life do we have such commitment? Forget about the other higher level. We are all common people. We are all having some, limitations. Do I run in my life with the desire or with the wish? Do I have a goal in my life or do I seek an object in my life? That is the difference. If we run with the objects in our mind, then there will be little less or more coming in the results, and the results will make us more happy or unhappy, and we will be always happy or unhappy in our life. But going through the Tushta path, we will always be happy. We will be always joyful, and we will keep working. That is why God told us that Atmane Vatmana Tushtaha. That is what the Sthita Prajna is. That is a transcendentally situation. In this situation of intellect, there is no physical rejection of the world. There is no physical rejection of the material world, but continuous working. And still not seeking or desiring anything. That is the person who is a Sthita Prajna. God is explaining who is Sthita Prajna. This is the second one, which is a Sthita Prajna. It is coming through the understanding of the power within. Who am I? I am creator of God. I am the creation of God. That understanding, that experience is making us tushta. I don't need anything more. We don't sell ourselves to the material world. We are not sold, we are not so-called sold to the objects, to the material world, because we are tushta in ourselves. And that will also lead to a selfless relationship. So that will also, there are so many, it's like a big web. It will make us also happy as a society, not as an individual also, as a society also. Why? Because if I am tushta, my relationship will be selfless. I will not be having a selfish relationship. And we all know that selfish relationship is the cause of all the problems. I need something from someone, and that is why I will behave in a specific way. If my need is satisfied, I do not keep contact with that person. Why? Because I got what I want. And if I do not get anything, still I will not keep contact with that person, because I am not going to get, then why should I be keeping touch with that person? So, not only individual level, at a society level also, a relationship which is based on the swarth ke relationship, on the selfish motives, the relationship cannot be trustful. It cannot be dependent. It cannot give us the happiness. The happiness is always in the relationship which is selfless. A tushta person will have a relationship which is selfless. And that is how even when so many people in the society, as a more and more percentage of the people in the society will become tushta, the society will become happy. So, this solution of Atmane Vatmana Tushtaha is applicable. See, how many things we thought about. We thought about individual level. Because I am tushtaha, I am not dissatisfied, I am not unhappy, and I am contented all the time. It is at a society level. That when the society is there, the relationship of the people will be good, because it is not based on the selfish motives. It is, we also saw that with having a tushtaha, it doesn't mean that a person will not run. A person will run, a person will work, person will be in touch with the material world, with the objects, but it will be through the compassion. It will be through other mechanism, and not the mechanism of gain and loss in the mind. So the person will be happy. Atmane Vatmana Tushtaha is a key. at an individual level, at a society level, and then extrapolating it, it is a universal level. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. When we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, means what? The whole Vasudha, the whole world, the whole Prithvi. Vasudha means Prithvi. We will make that as a family. When Sanatana Dharma says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, in a kutumb, in a family, there is no selfish. Supposed to be. Nowadays we see that also. So, but in a family, people work for each other, people work together, people live together. Through what? Through love, through compassion. And when there is a love and compassion, there is no material gain expected. That is what is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And that this message is only in Sanatana Dharma. That is why we should be proud where it is coming. Somebody say, oh, this is in Gita, but I don't understand where it is. That is exactly where it is connecting. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We will make the whole Vasudha, the world, as one family. Means people will have the relationship through love, through compassion. People will not have relationship of gain and loss and objective world and happiness. People will have the relationship with the love and compassion. In a kutumba, in a family, as we see. And that can be achieved only when a person is tushta within. That is why Atmanev Atmana Tushtaha is very important part. We will go further on 56th sloka now. Because this is a very important point. How this is applicable in today's life, how I can be tushta is another question. It will come in the further. Because if I am not having money, if I am not having any job, if I am looking for so many things, how I can be tushta in my life? Questions can be there. So we will go further on the 56th sloka. I'll chant the sloka. Because God knows these questions are known to God. Because when the God says, oh, you become tushta, naturally the question comes to me. That, oh, but if I am unhappy, what will happen? So God is telling the next sloka. God is telling 56th sloka. So I'll chant the 56th sloka of the second chapter. Dukheshvanu dvigna manaha sukheshu vigata spruha vitaraga bhaya krodha sthita dhir muniruchyate. I like this. Of course, I like all the slokas of Gita, but I generally like this slok very much and I quote it many times. Dukheshva anudvigna manaha. Dukheshva anudvigna. Dukha. When there is a dukha, when there is a misery, anudvigna manaha. Udvigna. Anudvigna. One whose mind is undisturbed. Udvigna means disturbed. Anaudvigna means undisturbed. Dukheshva. Dukheshva anudvigna manaha. Dukheshva anudvigna manaha. In the time of misery, whose mind is not disturbed, anudvigna. And sukheshu vigataha spruha. When in the time of happiness, in the comfort, in the pleasure, in the joy, spruha. Spruha means craving. One whose mind is not disturbed during the miseries, and one who has not got any craving for the sukha, for the pleasures, and whose vita. Vita means gone. Now here gone means dissolved. Gone doesn't mean gone, because anything which is gone can come back. Anything which is gone can come back, because it is in existence. Here the vita means dissolved. It is dissolved, it is merged, its independent existence is gone. That is vita. Because anything which is gone can come back. But vita is sometimes people, explain it as a which is gone. So, vita, raga, bhaya, krodha. Raga means the greed. The rag, the greed, attachment. Bhaya, we know the word bhaya. Bhaya means fear. And krodha means anger. Whose greed or attachment, whose bhaya, the fear, and whose anger, the krodha, is vita, is gone. Sitati muni ruchyate. That is the muni. That is the person. That is how the intellectual situation of that person, muni, is the condition. In Hindi we can say that दुखों की प्राप्ति होने पर जिसके मन में उद्वेग नहीं होता, और सुखों की प्राप्ति होने पर जिसके मन में स्पृहा, द ग्रीड नहीं आती, तथा जो राग, भय और क्रोध से सर्वस्था रहित हो गया है, वह मननशील मनुष्य स्थिर बुद्धि का स्थित प्रज्ञ कहा जाता है. This is the meaning of that. One whose mind remains undisturbed amidst the misery, and who does not crave for pleasure, and who is free from the attachment, fear and anger, is called a sage of steady wisdom. This is the meaning of it. So, here there are so many things. Number one is a dukha and sukha. That itself is a very big chapter. Because yesterday what was dukha is today sukha, and yesterday which was sukha is dukha. So what is the definition of sukha and dukha? What is the meaning of sukha and dukha? Very important part. We have to, sometimes, we are in such a big rush in our life that we do not understand actually what is good for us. So sometimes it is good to sit laid back. Yeah, go to Niagara. Go to Niagara for one day. Sit in front of the Niagara Falls. Just sit there. Don't do anything. And think about your life. Think about oneself. Think about you. Go there. That is called as a nirjar. In Sanskrit, that is called as a nirjar. You should go to the prakriti. You should go near to the nature. That is why we go to the camping, we go to Niagara, we go to all those places. Why? Because when we go near to the prakriti, we go near to the nature, we feel comfort. We can start thinking about ourselves. So this is where it is. What is dukha and sukha? I give you example. So many examples are there. So suppose there is a little girl and that girl is having a doll. You ask that girl, what is your definition of sukha? She will say that I can play with my doll for the full day and I can eat good amount of ice creams and chocolates is my sukha. That is the definition of sukha for that girl. When that girl becomes 30-year-old, you tell her that I am going to give you a doll to play with and give you chocolate and ice cream. Will she be sukhi? No. She will not be. Because the goal has changed. It's a moving target. Sukha is a moving target. And same as dukkha is also a moving target. Yeah. How dukkha is moving target? Let us take an example. If somebody is told that, you know what, you are obese. The doctor says you are overweight. You are supposed to do exercise and you are supposed to do some fasting. You are supposed to control your diet. Yeah, doctor will say. So at that time, the person is very unhappy. He likes to eat samosas and kachoris and gulab jamuns, all those nice heavy food. He likes to sit comfortably on a couch and watch some nice games on the television. But now he has to stand up, go to the gym, do exercise, control the diet. And he does it somehow. At that time, he is having lot of dukkha. Isn't it? Uncomfort. Dukkha means uncomfort. In very simple language, dukh means uncomfort, sukh means comfort. So he will find very much uncomfort. But the end result is what? His now cholesterol level is in control, his weight has reduced, he has become more healthier person. He is sukhi. How he is sukhi? Because now he doesn't have a breathing problem when he goes up the stairs. He can live his life happily, he is getting a good sleep, he doesn't have acidity and all those problems. So he is sukhi. So whether he was trying to be sukhi and that is why he was dukhi, what is the dukh and sukh? It is a relative term. I don't drink. There are people who are drinking. I have got some colleagues and friends also who do the drinking. For them, the sukha is to drink a good quality wine or whatever they are drinking. I don't know. For them, if you ask them, what is your sukha? They will say, oh, you know what? On Saturday evening, we are all sitting together, we are having some nice snacks, and we are all drinking and chit-chatting. That is my sukha. Definition of sukha is a filled glass. For me, it is a pain. I don't like it. So sukha is not dependent on the object. That is very clear. Something which is sukha for one person does not necessarily mean sukha for the other person. Smoking. If I smoke, I will start coughing, I will choke. Because I don't like smoking and I don't smoke. But the person who is smoking will like to smoke and they will say, oh, this is one of the best cigarette or best cigar which I have smoked. They will enjoy it. Definition of sukha is dependent on the person. It's dependent on the person. And that is the key to this sloka. Because it is telling here, dukheshva anudvigna manaha. Whatever you think is your dukkha, whatever you think, that this is dukkha for me. Dukkha means not external. If somebody says dukkha means what? Falling sick. Dukkha means what? Losing job. Dukkha means what? Losing your kith and kin. That is what is dukkha. Losing appetite. Getting older and getting uglier. They think they are uglier. So that is what they think as dukkha. Definition of dukkha means what? Losing life. Pandemic. We saw the dukkha very recently, 3 years ago, 2020, 2021. How many people died all over the world? Dukkha, pandemic, flood, famine. They are all dukkha. And they are, in fact, people lose their lives. So, here when it is told dukkha, the thing is very clear here. See, even God is telling, dukheshva anudvigna manaha. That means what? God is accepting that there will be a dukkha and sukha in our life. And in everybody's life. Everybody's life. That is why God is advising us and telling us, guiding us. Dukheshva anudvigna manaha, sukheshu vigata spruha, vitaraga bhaya krodha. Yeah. So God is, in other words, clearly telling us that there will be a dukkha in life. You just can't have all the time, all the way, everywhere, only sukha. Not possible. You will have a dukkha, you will have a sukha also. When we say dukkha, we say, see, look at the world. The world is so unhappy. People are unhappy, people are struggling, people are working but not getting paid enough. There are disease, or there are deaths, there are this pandemic, unemployment, poverty, name it. Such a long list of dukkha. Let us take example of a beggar. A beggar will have all that problem, right? No money, no house, nothing. How many times we have seen that a beggar has done a suicide? How many times you see a situation where a beggar has done a suicide? Never. They never suicide. So if they are in so much dukkha, so-called, as we say, lack of money, lack of everything, then they should suicide, no? But there is some part of sukha in their life. At least the sukha in form of a asha, in the form of a future aspirations, hope. So there is a sukha in everybody's life. There is a little bit of sukha even in that beggar's life also it is there. And in the same way, for a billionaire, we think that he has got all the sukha, but no, they also have got some dukkha in their life. So sukha and dukkha is one coin with two sides, and everybody has to keep that coin in their pocket. It will be there. First part we have to understand very clearly is that this is an unavoidable situation. Inevitable situation. When we are born with dukkha and sukha together. Yes, of course, there is a big law of karma, and we will not go there now. We will come to that later. But there is always a sukha and dukkha in everybody's life. Number one. Number two, a sukha or dukkha today, a dukkha which I feel today is maybe sukha for tomorrow. Like a student is studying hard and getting good marks, he will get a good degree or something, and he will get a good job and career. That means today's dukkha is tomorrow's sukha. So, number one is sukh and dukh are inevitable. Number two, sukh and dukh, happiness and sorrow, misery is there in everybody's life. Everybody's life, a beggar to a billionaire. Number third part is the feeling of sukha and dukkha is dependent on a time, at a given time. Just like we talked, a little girl will find happiness in playing with the doll, but a 30-year-old woman will not find happiness with the same girl who is grown to 30 years, will not find happiness in playing with the doll. So, the definition of sukha and dukkha also keeps changing every day in our life. Every day it will keep changing. So imagine now we are in a situation. Number one, we can't avoid it. Number two, it will be always there. Both will be there. Number three, it will keep on changing. The definition of sukha and dukkha will keep on changing. How do we get a comfortable status or situation, the contented, the previous one, atmaneva atmana tushtaha? How can we get this with all this thing always there? The only way is sthita pragya, our mind. How our intellect will be set in a way where the misery will get our mind undisturbed. So misery will be there. We have to handle the situation, but do not get your intellect disturbed with it. Take it as a play, and that is why you must have read it, that Gita says the life is a play. Yeah, you have to play it. It's a game, you have to play it. So just like in a game, we sometimes lose, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. In the same way, when the dukkha comes or sukha comes, take it as a game. Take it as a play. Take it as a role. You are playing a role. Imagine there are heroes and heroines. You must have already seen so many movies. What is happening? Sometimes the hero dies in a movie, or the villain dies in a movie, or that happens. But when the movie is done, the hero is not unhappy that, oh, I died, because it is just a play. He knows that I am just doing the acting. I am different. Atmane atmana. Yes, I am Atma. I am different. All this thing which I am moving in the world, here, there, doing the work and all, is my play. I have got a role to play. And that role is not going to disturb me as an individual. So when there is a dukkha coming or sukha coming, my mind will be undisturbed. In case of a dukkha, my mind will be undisturbed. I will not be, falling down with the misery, or I will not be becoming an egoistic person with the sukha, the happiness is coming. That is what God is telling. But we have to understand that sukha and dukkha is a state of mind. It is not related to the object. I have got a couple of friends who fall sick during COVID, and a couple of them even died also. It was very sorrowful. They were very young and they died during the COVID. I really felt sorry. I was very sad for them. But there were other friends who fall sick, but they came out. They came out of the disease and they were healthy again. So they were telling that, oh, you know what, I was in the hospital for almost 1 month. I spent, in India, maybe 15 lakhs rupees, 20 lakhs rupees. I lost so much of money. But when I told them that, the other guy died. So that unhappiness, that dukkha of losing 15 lakhs rupees or 20 lakhs rupees and, being in the hospital for 1 month, they find happiness now. Oh, I survived. The situation is how you look at the situation. The happiness or unhappiness is dependent on how you look at the situation. That is how it is. So, you know what, we will go further. It's already 11 o'clock. We will go further to understand. There are some stories also, the definition of sukha and dukkha. So we will come back on next Saturday again at between 10 to 11 like our usual. And we will go further on the 56th sloka, try to understand the definition of Sukha and Dukha more little in detail, how exactly it is related and it is impacting our intellect, and we will go further to that. And try to see that how we can be Sukhi, we can be contented in our life. Till then, I wish everyone a good, happy weekend, and see you guys on next Saturday, 10 o'clock. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah.